Welcome to the video, you guys. I want to walk you through how to front load all kinds of exercises using a barbell. Now, if you've done back squats with the bar sitting on your back, but it hurts your shoulders, this front loading is going to be a great alternative for you. And I actually have gone through a period of several years not being able to put a bar on my back because of some shoulder issues. They just couldn't rotate back enough and with weight on the bar for it to feel comfortable. So I learned how to front load, and I have to say, front loading is awkward. I'll put that right out there. It's a little uncomfortable. I'll put that out there too. However, I prefer front loading now. The core engagement that you will feel when you front load something is outrageous, and it's super challenging. And I love, love, love a good challenge. So I want to show you how you can front load something, and you can just practice this with the bar. You don't even have to use a heavy bar like this. You can use any kind of bar, but it does take practice. And I really want to emphasize one thing. When you do it, it's not going to feel comfortable. And so many people try it and they're like, ooh, I didn't like that. Well, no, you're not going to like it on the first try. You need to keep at it and give it a chance, because once you can appreciate how to hold the bar, and once you can feel how much more your core is engaged, I think you're gonna love it. A lot of moving parts to a front load, and we're gonna walk you through all the parts of how to do a basic front load. Okay, so when you front load a bar, I think it's one big mistake people make with front loading is they assume that their hands are what's really holding the bar up high. And that's not entirely true. What you want to do is provide a shelf for the bar to sit on with your delts. Your hands are just there to support it. So the bar's actually sitting here. So let me show you what that's going to look like. So if I were to go under this bar with my arms straight out, I'm going to set it on a shelf where I think it will stay with my delts. My arms, I'm not touching the bar. I can lift the bar up and step back a little bit right here. So this bar's not being supported by anything, but it's sitting on my delts. That's it. And when I walk you through how to hand position this, you'll see the hands are just there for support. But basically the bar sits on your delts. That's the first step. Okay, so now that we've got it straight where the bar needs to sit, let's talk about how we're gonna support it with our hands. This is my preferred way of doing it. I'm gonna show you another way here in a minute, just in case this one doesn't feel good for you, because it does require some wrist flexibility, because your wrist is gonna be coming back like this. If you do not have the wrist flexibility to do the finger grip on the bar, then I'm gonna show you an alternative where you can still front load, but not have to worry about the wrist flexibility piece, okay? So first let's talk about this. I prefer either grabbing the bar with 3 fingers, these 3 fingers, or better yet, 2 fingers. The fewer fingers you actually grab the bar with, the more your wrists are gonna be able to bend back and help support it. So I generally go to 2 fingers on the bar. So it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna have Dan zoom in. I put my 2 fingers here, just like this. And now if you see, my fingers are on top of the bar. What I'm gonna do is come under the bar with my fingers there. I'm gonna get where I was when I was just resting that bar on my delts. I wanna get my elbows up. Now to do that, look where my elbows started. They were here. I want my elbows to be level to the ground. I have to push that bar up towards my throat a little bit more, like this. Now my elbows are in the right spot. I lift the bar up, take a few steps back, and now I'm ready to go. So if Dan can zoom in on the elbows, you can see that they are level. My wrists are bent back, but really, I'm barely holding onto the bar with my fingers at all. My fingers are very, very loose. But one thing I am doing is I'm thinking about pushing the bar in towards my throat, and that's what makes this uncomfortable for a lot of people. You get used to it after a while. It's never gonna ever feel comfortable, but it's not bad. You do wanna find that fine line, because you don't wanna strangle yourself, that's for sure. But the problem is, if you don't think about driving your elbows up and the bar in, your elbows are gonna start doing this. And then you're gonna start losing the bar, especially when you have a lot of weight on the bar. Okay, so I'm gonna re-rack this. I don't wanna hit the camera here. Okay, so I'm gonna walk through this one more time just so you can see it, and I wanna emphasize, you wanna keep your elbows level like this. You don't want them to point down, so keep them level, and then to do that, you wanna think about driving the elbow up And when you do that, the bar's gonna go into your throat a little bit, right in the Adam's apple area, okay? In that area, and that's what you wanna remain like this. Now what that does, sets this on fire, because without core, you can't do this and hold it there with weight on the bar. That's why your core plays such a big role in any kind of front-loaded exercise. So I'm gonna show you the whole setup one more time. I'm gonna use 2-finger grip one more time. So I put 2 fingers right on top of the bar. I'm gonna come underneath the bar, get it on my delts, get my elbows high, stand straight up, 2 steps back, and now I'm ready to either squat, I can lunge, I can do whatever I want to do. I'm going to do a squat right now, and I want you to see what this looks like, keeping my elbows level. Now, if I were to let my elbows dip down, it would look like this. You can see the big difference there. So again, drive your elbows up. As you squat down, think of driving your elbows up. And if you notice as well, you're more upright in a front squat, purposely so. That's okay. You're gonna feel it not only in your glutes, but you're gonna feel it more in your quads for a front squat as well. And this will be on fire. Now, let's talk about what can you do if you can't get your wrists back like this. Okay, so if you can't get your wrists back like this, that's okay. You can still do front loading. It's a cross arm variation. So you're gonna set it up kind of like we did in the very beginning with our arms straight. Get under the bar, put it on your delts, arms are like this. You're gonna cross one arm over the other, and you support the bar this way, but the bar's still sitting on your delts. Up, step back, and this is how you go. Now, the same thing here, you've got to keep your elbows high, because if you don't, you're gonna lose the bar. See, it's already wobbly, because I let my elbows dip. Drive your elbows up as you squat down, and your elbows stay high. So I'm gonna come on in, I don't wanna whack the camera. So you have a couple of alternatives. You can also use straps to hold onto the bar. That will help too. Totally up to you. I prefer 2 fingers. If you can't do that, try crossed arm. But remember, the key to front loading, super important, 2 things. Keeping it up high enough on your delts. And then the other thing is, as you lower into your movement, whether it's a squat, you can lunge with these, whatever you're doing, as you're lowering into your movement, drive your elbows up. That will keep your elbows level, triceps facing the ground, and you'll be exactly where you need to be, and you won't lose the bar. But I want you to try these. Give them a chance. Yes, they're uncomfortable, and I'm being really honest, they're not gonna get comfortable. They're still not comfortable with me, but if you can get beyond that piece, and challenge yourself to build a strong as hell core, you're gonna love these. Absolutely love these. And they're a great alternative if your shoulders are cranky and they just don't like sitting back here with a lot of weight on them. So give this a try. If you like this video, give us a like and click subscribe, because we're gonna be here a lot giving you some tutorials. I want you to try front loading, and I want you to let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions, plop them in the comments below. Thank you all for being here. We'll talk to you soon.